All right, everybody, okay, Pops is back, and we got an episode from Ben Atmos here. Please go support Ben Atmos. I'll leave the original video link down in the description. And go support SSERAFIM, of course. That's what we're all about, is supporting the artists. This is Hugh Yunjin. Yunjin. Excuse me. SSERAFIM. Now, I was asked to do this a while back. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm just getting to it now. We've got a lot on the list to do. I will get to everything, I promise. I am working on it and working on getting through everything. So, if y'all want to see more like this, let me know, and we'll get it done just as fast as we can. And if you want to support us along the way, we'd love to have you along for the ride. Subscribe button is down below, and all of our information is down in the description. We do have SSERAFIM Live over on the Patreon. We've got all kinds of stuff. So, okay, let's go see what we got. Let's do it.
Who is Yunjin? The real Yunjin. The Yunjin we... Can I be honest with you guys? With how Yunjin, I don't even know where to start.
Oh, and before we get in real good, please let me know what you think. Me up here in the corner, other corner, lower corners. What do y'all think? Let me know. We're trying to get the pictures right for everything. I know it'll have to be on the top because of subtitles on some stuff, you know. Now, this one we don't necessarily need the subtitles. Well, except for when she's talking in Korean, so, yeah.
There's some idols that have such a robust artistic identity, history, message, it's hard to put into words.
Yep.
Yunjin's story is one filled with more ups and downs, moments of happiness, sadness, and determination than a shonen manga. But through it all, she's become one of the most respected idols, whose confidence and authenticity can be felt throughout the K-pop community. I mean, what other K-pop idols have written and released multiple solos so quickly after debut, and have even illustrated their own music videos? Not a lot. So let's go, Fear Nots, and take a deep dive into the mind of Ha Yunjin. And you know what that means, right? It's back to the very beginning. Yunjin was born on October 8th, 2001 in South Korea, but moved to America when she was only 8 months old.
So she'll be
She lived in
25
California and also Chicago until her family finally settled near Albany, New York. Her affinity for music had always been around. She would go to choir with her grandma, who was a vocalist herself. But equal to her interest in music was her interest in stories. She enjoyed reading and started making her own lyrics by age 8. In an interview with W Magazine, she said, "I remember the first song that I wrote. I distinctly remember writing it in my huge sketchbook with Expo markers. It was about a magic carpet. In the second verse, I talked about Shrek being in my backyard. So it was very creative." Her and her sister would make videos about their own songs all the time. Performing quickly became a passion of hers. However, she didn't understand the true power of songwriting until her friend introduced her to a certain artist.
근데 그 아티스트 분이 테일러 스위프트?
테일러 스위프트.
근데 대단하고 막 근사한 세계관 속에서 막 그런 곳에서만 스토리가 나온다고 생각을 했었는데 뭔가 너무 솔직하고 그냥 있는 그대로의 본인의 이야기를 풀어내는 게 너무 인상 깊었던 것 같았어요.
Yeah.
Swift was the
That's true, because, you know, I've heard artists say, look, this song came from, you know, we were riding on the bus and I happened to see this on the side of the road, you know, or this song happened because we were at a hotel and I saw this, or, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be large world views. It's just, you know, little things that come about that all of a sudden, pow, a song will come about it, you know. It just happens, you know. Stories are the same way. I've heard artists or authors say the same thing. I mean, it just came out of, I saw a news article or I saw an article in the newspaper or whatever, you know.
catalyst. She realized that honesty was powerful. A story with an uncompromising message left little room for misunderstanding. Something we can see in Yunjin's songs to this day. Around 7th grade, she started taking singing lessons in classical music, and in high school participated in a musical which eventually went viral.
Great control!
But throughout it all, Yunjin really couldn't figure out where she belonged.
제가 이제 한국인인데 미국에 살고 있는 한국인이었잖아요. 그래서 뭔가 정체성에 대한 고민을 되게 많이 했단 말이에요. 그래서 음악이 많이 좋았던 것 같기도 한데 뭔가 음악을 하면서 나를 조금 찾아갈 수 있는 그런 길을 찾기도 했어요. 근데
Right.
한국인이 많이 보이진 않더라고요, 미국 시장에서. 그래서 하다가 갑자기 이제 그 당시에 방탄소년단 선배님들이 아메리칸 뮤직 어워즈라는 시상식이 있는데 굉장히 유명하고 큰 시상식이란 말이에요. 그걸 보고 굉장히 뭔가 힘을 많이 얻었던 것 같아요. 그래서 나도 누군가에게 힘을 줄 수 있는 그런 멋진 아티스트가 되고 싶다.
And thus she began her roller coaster of a journey into K-pop. As it just so happened, some global auditions were coming to town. She sang Adele's When We Were Young.
When we were young, let me photograph you in this life.
Before she knew it, she was a trainee at SM. But even though she met some people there, who she totally would not have lasting friendships with, they let her go. The next company she joined was Pledis, and that's when she joined survival show Produce 48. I know for many, this was their first time seeing Yunjin, myself included. Honestly, I didn't realize Kirin-chan and Yunjin were the same person until I researched for this video. Kind of embarrassing. While she got to show people
Stage names. Artists use them all the time. Matter of fact, I've heard some K-pop artists say, you know, if they could go back, they'd probably use a stage name instead of their own name. And some who said, well, yeah, I use my own name, but I'd love to have a stage name, you know? Yeah. Or some say, I have a stage name, but I'd love to use my own name, you know? Yeah, very cool.
the power of her voice and meet a lot of important people in the industry.
Yeah.
The exposure wasn't all
Jaewon.
great. She was called greedy for wanting another chance to be main vocalist, but she rose past that. Despite the heartbreak of being eliminated, Yunjin continued to practice until one September night. I got called into the office and they sat me down. They were like, "You will no longer be able to come along with us. Your path ends here." Think about this. Moving all the way to Korea, away from your family, making what is essentially your public debut, being criticized by the internet and eliminated, let go again from the company you've been at, saying goodbye to all the trainees who have become your friends. When I went back to the US, I don't know. I went through every state of despair.
Right.
First, I was very much at peace. I was like, it's okay, it's fine. And then as time went on, I was like, no, it's not fine. What am I gonna do? Then I was angry. Then I was so sad. Then I was upset. Then I felt guilty at times. Then I felt sorry again. And then in the end, I got myself together and I was like, I'm gonna start a new life. It was off to business school or opera. Whatever it may be, she wanted to forget the word idol, it becoming a trigger for the memories of the cycle of success and failure that defined all her recent years. But when Yunjin uncovered an old guitar one day, she realized the feelings deep in her heart. She was never going back.
I'm never going back.
Everything she wanted to say, the lyrics she wrote, and the feelings she had, they weren't going away anytime soon. She would go back one day. One day, she would... Who's that? Hello? Oh.
I like how he does that. Yeah, I had heard that about her, that she had went through everything, went through Produce 48, all that, and then, you know, back home she went to New York. And then, boom, the call came, you know, and you never know when that call's going to come or when that, you know, you're going to look around that corner and success is going to be staring at you, you know. I was always told that you never know when it's going to happen. It will happen. The question is whether you seize on it or not. You know?
Chairman Bong, you're making a new girl group and you want Yunjin to be in it? Now, this call wasn't a coincidence. As Yunjin explained herself,
세라핌을 들었을 때 솔직한 나의 모습을 그대로 보여줄 수 있다? 뭔가 이런 얘기를 들었어서 그때 나의 음악을 하면서 아이돌을 할 수 있겠구나 드디어 뭔가 이런 생각을 했었던.
Yunjin had the passion, the personal journey. Hybe called because there was no trainee on the planet who could embody the values of SSERAFIM more than her. Now that we've made it to the point where Yunjin is in the group, I'd like to make a distinction between SSERAFIM Yunjin and Yunjin. As she says herself, I think the people who support and love us make us who we are. SSERAFIM Yunjin is also me, but it's my ideal version of me. It's the person that I really want to become. So we have Yunjin and the ideal she tries to be. That's the lens through which I'd like to focus on her after debut career with.
Right.
We can see this by exploring her solos and how they reflect her reality.
Right.
Let's start with Raise Your Glass. It's a potent, double-sided message about expressing gratitude for those who stick up and support you,
I don't know what I'd be doing without you. You love who I am.
while addressing those who have nothing better to do than attack you.
And everybody's talking shit, no bigger hypocrite. It's fine though.
But more than anything, it feels like an admission of reality. This is the first instance of Yunjin laying her mind bare. She speaks of vulnerability,
I'm fearless, but I still fear.
a line that's a potent reminder that becoming an idol with a certain image doesn't mean you live that image.
I'd hate to waste us on this, but I truly hope they find their own peace of mind.
Yunjin knows that even her haters are troubled in their own way, and wishes that even they find healing somewhere, somehow. A powerful statement that's filled with compassion and melancholy rather than anger. In the end, what rings true is in this ugly world where the color is fading, everyone owes it to themselves to find the beautiful people that support them. I used to think, why do I always have to walk?
Yeah, and find yourself while you're at it. You know, being a hater is nothing more than common jealousy. I mean, really and truly, when you think about it. 90% of haters are just purely jealous that they are not in the position that, you know, who they're hating on is. It's just, it is what it is, you know, and there's no reason for it. But, you know, you want them to find peace too, find themselves, find who they are, and find their road, you know?
Walk a difficult road. But if I think about it, it's because I have to take the difficult road to see, learn, and feel more. I feel like it's okay to walk that road, even if it's a winding one.
Absolutely.
As long as I'm with SSERAFIM, because we're taking it together.
Absolutely.
I'm Not a Doll is much more pointed than our first song. A decisive finger aimed at fake fans and haters who only view idols for their looks, like they're dolls to play with. It's a message many of us knew, but some of us needed to hear. The fact less than a year after debut, Yunjin was able to make this, curse words and all, is striking. She tells W Magazine, "Art is personal. It has to be personal for people to really feel it." There are a lot of unspoken things that we all feel, but also feel like societally we shouldn't say or express. I wanted to make the first punch
Right.
to dismantle that way of thinking.
Right.
Yunjin had something she wanted to say, and she said it. Love You Twice, or Pianadorok in Korean, is practically a letter from Yunjin to SSERAFIM Yunjin, a desire to be her perfect self put into words. She herself wants to be an inspiration to others, just like the ideal Yunjin, the idol in her head is. And while she has a long way to go, she's doing a great job.
I got news for her. She already is.
Her latest song, Blessing in Disguise, describes the feelings Yunjin had after leaving her trainee life behind and going back to America. It conveys the dizzying drive to still move forward, even if you don't know where to go. The odd state of having to start anew with no plan, yet being bound in your heart to the same dream that just sent you home. But as she looks back at that era, she realizes something. Everything happens for a reason, and in retrospect, I'd like to thank my younger self for enduring everything. In the end, every decision I made helped me find this family, and this team that I can call my home. Now, if you don't think Yunjin was the best choice to be in SSERAFIM by this point, I sentence you to feeling the pain of facing that truth. Her ideas are echoed in SSERAFIM's comebacks. Her lyrics weave their way into the group's discography. She's breaking down walls in the K-pop industry by choosing to be honest and vulnerable. She says to NME that it might be too vulnerable, but at the same time, I have this belief that there will be someone somewhere out there who will relate and get even the littlest bit, an ounce of reassurance that they're not an outcast, or they're not someone who's alone.
Absolutely.
I think that it is therapeutic for me to put that stuff out there, to just express my feelings. At the same time, it's therapeutic to know that I might be doing something good for the world. And I'm excited to see what she does next, because
She ate! Oh,
She ate.
hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, remember to like and subscribe for more. That way you'll get notified whenever I start making polls to decide whoever I'm deep diving next. I feel
Yeah. I mean, if you watch these idol stories, 99% of them, we'll cut it a little bit, say 95% of them. You watch their journeys through the training programs and everything else, and you're not inspired in some way or another not just hate. You don't want to hate on them by the time you watch that stuff. But if you're not inspired to be the better you're watching it wrong. You know what I mean? It's crazy how much they go through to be as good as they are. And make no mistake, SSERAFIM is freaking amazing. So, yeah. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it very much. Listen, if y'all want to see more like this, I am happy to do it. Y'all let me know, and we'll get it done, all right? Other than that, y'all have an absolutely fantastic day, everybody. This is Soul Pops. I will see you tomorrow. We are out.